There is no roadmap or navigational system for the times we have entered. Not to overstate the obvious, but there's a darkness that has come into our lives. Some people feel it, some people have yet to get the whole picture. And we look to others, if you will, for guidance. And, possibly I gathered because you're all showing up here, you're looking to me to get some insight. And um, so, how, how to talk about this? My inner system is working, and it is pouring out love and energy to anyone who wants it, and to each of you in particular, because you show up. And it really has a very strong, energetic, loving, light bearing quality that can help you and sustain you to some degree and guide you. And it is a channel that somehow, through the grace of the universe, of Rudy and powers that be, works. And, I have zero idea how long it will be around and available. And I'm always surprised when I sit down on Sunday mornings with all of you to see it in full force. It absolutely functions because you arrive, and it's very potent. But it absolutely needs to find a established connectivity inside you so that when I disappear from the picture, or as Rudy disappeared from the picture for me, it's alive and well. And that's up to you, completely up to you. Uh, it's not like it's not functioning in all human beings, but I would say most people have barely a glimmer of what I'm talking about. You guys have light bulbs going off. You are connected. You are connected. And I feel it because there's not one of you in this class who does not have a expression of viability, of vibrance, of radiance that doesn't ignite in the class. It's amazing. So thank you for being that. Thank you for showing up. But what I'm trying to get at is this is a hard moment to navigate in life. And I think I'm saying this to some of you who go, yes, right. And some of you go, I don't want to hear this. And I'm, as I've said many times, totally open to your looking to other sources who will provide you with comfort. All I'm providing you with is access to your own core, your own sense of well-being. But it doesn't come from me or through me. It is absolutely part of you. And if you don't have a established doorway on a daily basis in some way to go into this space and go, you are going to find yourself somewhat lost in the unnavigable world that is emerging. So, the important part, I think, right at this moment is to amplify your own dedication to clarity and to the inner potential for serenity that will drive you forward in this lifetime and help you find a way to get through the day-to-day life. I don't want to be overly dramatic, you know. I'm sure I am that person, and as I have said multiple times, I am a dramatist. That's kind of how I made my living in life. But I also have a pretty good sense of plot in the way things unfold. And the last 2 weeks have been shocking for me in the way the world is unfolding. Not that it's unanticipated, you know, the groundwork was laid for it, but it's happening and the world is changing. And of course, as I've described to you on any number of occasions, my own son is part of the Washington establishment and works in the Justice Department. And it gives me a certain firsthand glimpse of some of the unbelievable upheaval and confusion that's occurring in that space. And it's hard to look at. Then we have the California fires, which I've described have personal impact in my life with people I care about deeply having lost homes and needing help and support. I'm having friends who are now getting older and aging and having partners who are suddenly and unexpectedly debilitated and changing the course of lives in like in a moment, in an instant, and having no idea how to go forward, no map, no roadmap. So I see we're all moving in that direction. And so we're all looking for help and guidance and comfort. And we're all working out our own little version of what that is. Not everyone I know, but many people I know have canceled their subscriptions to the New York Times. Okay, great. That will maybe help keep you from having to have certain things front and center from a perspective that doesn't work for you. Other people are not watching the news at all. Other people are, trying to enhance their practice so that they're really, able to get through the day. All I can tell you is you have to find for yourself the element of what I will call, and I just saw this little sweet movie animated film called Flow, and I may have talked about it in the last few weeks. It's just move through life, move through your day, move as quietly and as consciously as you can. Whatever is in front of you is your life. Whatever shows up is your situation. Do it with grace and do it with as much ease and as love as possible. Find your way into community where you can, hold hands where you can, be loving where you can. But if you're looking for a action that will change the world around you, you may be frustrated by that right now because nobody is quite guided into the directionality of what future may represent because right now it's a big cloudy space and it's hard to navigate. So navigation has to be flow into this moment and the next moment and the moment after that. And you have to find your way to be in that space and see, if you will, the larger grace of existence. The grace of existence is you are in the place you should be. You will always find yourself in the place you will be and should be. Even if you get lost, even if you don't know where to go next, even if you don't know how to turn around, it's part of the grace of flow of life. It's moving you and everyone in it in some massive direction. Right now, collectively, we're moving into a very strange period. And it is, in a way, defined by kind of ignorance and chaos. When ignorance runs the show, which it does for most lives, to be honest, most of us are very ignorant and unguided. But when ignorance takes over at the top and chaos is in the seat of power, you are going to be influenced by that and impacted by that. You just are. And how do you go through your day without a map of do this, do that, do this, do that? Well, the only thing, again, is come back to flow, come back to core, come back to whatever quiet directive you might find. And if you find that the system stops working, the plug comes out, you don't have the GPS that you need to go through the next hour of your life, You have to trust that you're in the right place and whatever you do will be part of a larger flow of existence. Now, is that comforting? Is that going to make you feel safe and secure? Probably not. But whenever I use the word safety, I go back to Helen Keller, who you all know was born, she was blind and deaf. And that's not a good way to enter this world, although many people in some abstract way are both blind and deaf, but most of us don't feel that experience. She learned through her teacher and demonstrated in a movie called The Miracle Worker and a book how to communicate through hand signals. And she learned to wake up to the world through communion with one other person, her teacher. And she started to learn language and learn a way of experiencing this lifetime from a position none of us have ever been in. And she came out of it with a state of wisdom and insight and true grace that is rare on our planet. And one of her great comments is there is no such thing as safety in this world. There is no such thing as safety. We just are in it and we go through it. And so all of us are looking in many ways through our meditation life for safety, comfort, security, certainty, knowing. And what I'm going to say now is that that is not the way it's going to unfold for you as a kind of possession. I have safety, I have comfort, I have knowledge. Because what you are going to be exploded into at this point in time is the unknowing that we all share. The profound unknowing, uncertainty, lack of clarity that is now entering the world dynamic. And the only thing you might be able to find, but it's not for you, it's not your comfort zone, but it's a place of, okay, it's a place of trust. It's a place of centering. It's a place of going, I hand myself over to the unknown. Thy will be done. That is kind of where we are really entering at this point in time. And it's not theoretical. It's not like a dreamscape where we think, oh, this what he's saying is so beautiful and I love what he's saying. And yeah, yeah, yeah. This is marching orders. This is how you have to go forward. You have to go forward in the unknowing with a kind of absolute trust and knowing there is no safety. But even though this is hard to accept, it's okay. It's okay. This is where we are. This is not new to the world. This is not new to mankind. This is not new to life. It's got a big canvas right now. It has it has how can I say? It's environmentally true. It is politically true. It is emotionally true. We are in new times, and we have to find our way through that. Figuring out what to do and how to be and how to act is up to our inner consciousness. What does it say to do? How do we move forward? I will tell you, as far as I can tell, it has a lot to do with the people or the person next to you. How do you respond to that person moment to moment? Does your uncertainty and fear and concern and all that other stuff that can start to come up and does come up uh, impact how you share your stuff with the world? If it does, and you are sending out your nervousness and your fear and your drama to everybody else, that won't help. And if the one thing you are able to do is pull back, take a breath, feel the trust, feel the lack of safety, the uncertainty, and take a step forward and another step. And when you're with somebody else, hold their hand. When you're with another person in your life, be nice and kind, be loving, be gentle. Those are the keys. And I say that every week. So if you are tired of hearing that, I apologize because absolutely tune me out. You can follow whatever directive you want. The only one I can offer you is yes, this is really happening. Yes, this is a dark moment in the soul of and the psyche of the planet and of us as human beings. This is not easy, and we may not find a way out of it during our lifetimes because it's what's unfolding is very, very big. Is it cosmic? Does it have a cosmic dimension? My sense is yes. This is bigger than any of us understand. It will be provocative. It will be transformative. It will change us. It will change the human race. It will change the dynamic of life on the planet. We're going through something. Is there a positive outcome to this? If I had to predict, I would say yes. How that will be present, I don't know. Not for me to know. But I do know that my own life has been trying to stay attuned to and in touch with this trust, this deep trust that goes and move forward and flow into the next moment. You don't have any choice, really. You're going to be flowing into the next moment one way or the other. If you're trying to flow and direct the flow into places of safety and comfort and security, good luck. You may find that as a temporary outcome, and that would be great. This moment is universal. It's very big, it's very potent, and it's just starting. And anybody who's turning on the TV or opening your newspaper or whatever is going, oh my God, this is huge. Even for people who are going, oh, this is wonderful. This is going to be great. This is terrific. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be very impactful. And so while it is impactful, well, one thing we can do is come together on these Sunday mornings and be together. I will tell you, my talks may be the thing you should turn off. What you really want is just the energy. And the energy is wonderfully loving and constant and deep and profound. And I cannot explain it. It just embraces you. This is the one thing that is happening. The talks, I think, are probably more problematic. But the thing we do have is we get back to stillness, connection, love, higher consciousness, soul energy, radiance. It's all there. It's all there. But if ever there was a time for that and a need for that, of course, it's right now. And if I'm not around to provide these energetic moments, I'm just one tiny little microbe of energy in the larger cosmos. And every one of you has the ability to, and in some ways, I would say the obligation to ignite the radiance that you are and put it out. Let it be out there. Share it with the world. You don't have to sit eye to eye necessarily. I love that practice because it's so constant and massive and communicative in a way. But what I really feel is that every one of us has to be the spark of light that helps whatever portion of the world appears in front of us. That's what we have to do. And if you're doing that, you are saving the world, if you will. You're saving the world that is in front of you. And that's our work. That's our job. If you can do that, it will be wonderful. I don't mean to add to the dark expressions of what's happening right now. I don't want to be somebody who's going doom and gloom because it's not exactly doom and gloom, but it is definitely dark and heavy and demands work. It demands effort from all of us. Is that effort, sledgehammering and digging holes? No, it's very simple. It's very light. Open your heart, go inside, take a breath, feel the light. But you have to do it against great odds, great heaviness descending upon you. Can you do it? Of course, you do it all the time. Just go inside, take the breath, ask for help to surrender, accept, open, be, and feel it. That's the work you do every day, maybe every 10 minutes, every 10 seconds if you have to get through the oppressiveness of what's going on around you. And of course, much of what's going on around you is not happening in the atmosphere of your life. The sun is out, the clouds are out, the trees are out, the ground, there's life happening around you. And that's the reminder of the constancy of the world for the time being. I mean, of course, that's being impacted as well, but it's still there. It's an embrace. The embrace of the world is exquisite and beautiful. So I encourage everybody, walk outside and be cold and be warm and be in the light and enjoy the snow and enjoy the rain and enjoy the darkness and enjoy the moon and stars. Take it all in. Take it all in and let that be your reference point. And if you turn on the news and you listen to it to see what's happening in the abstract political sphere of your life, or in this very specific one where you're being, fired from your jobs, if if it's impacting you directly, that's different. But if it's impacting you in the general way, look at it and go, this is the world. In some ways, it's always been thus, but it's not always been as directly impactful as what we're experiencing right now in our culture. So grow up, everybody. It's time to handle the life that's in front of us. And all I can tell you is we are in this together. We are meant to share it. We're meant to hold hands and uh, and take this as deep as we can, and to stay in flow and afloat, and to be conscious servants of trust in the world. Okay, leave it at that. Again, apologies if I'm embracing the dark side and you've been able to put your heads in the sand or looking other directions. But this is where I'm at, and I feel it really important to address this for those people who are having issues. Are there any questions from anybody? Comments, criticisms, dramas, worries, fears? Okay. Again, I end this class with pretty much, I think, where I've done it before. If this isn't the message you want anymore, there are people out there who will give you the messages you want. Feel free. Transfer your attention to them. I have no problem with that. If you guys want nourishment on a Sunday morning and you feel there's a tap you can open and get whatever you need, great. You're welcome to come here. I love you all. I thank you all for being here, and onward and upward. See where this all goes.